So casting the club is possibly the biggest mistake I see golfers make, and it leads to very weak golf shots, shaping out to the right for the right-handed golfer that goes nowhere. But in today's video, I'm going to show you, with the help of hack motion, how you're going to stop casting the ball and start delivering the club to hit some powerful, accurate shots, picking up some huge distance, but all by working on the correct body motion that's going to help you deliver the club like the best players in the world. So first things first, what is casting? So it's something that happens in the downswing, and golfers make their move into the backswing, great, but as they start the downswing, this angle here, they start losing this angle very, very early, and as the hands get to about waist height, we can see a massive gap here. The club head's already level with the hands, and that casting coming into impact produces kind of scooping and a very weak delivery, very like that first shot we saw. So in an ideal world, what we would see is that once we get to the top and that angle's created, that angle would be held onto till about waist height, and then we start to lose that little bit of shape. So I think the mistake a lot of golfers make is that they'll stand up and they'll say, right, so I'm just going to try and hang on to that angle for as long as I can. But all they'll actually start doing is hitting the ball way out to the right, and it's still going nowhere, and it's even less accurate than before. So for me as a coach, it's really important that you learn how to move correctly so that a lot of these angles take care of themselves. But it's very hard sometimes to get a feedback as to am I keeping that shape? So I'm going to use hack motion, great piece of kit. I use this a lot in my coaching, and I've done a few videos on it. And as you watch through the video, if you are interested, there's going to be a link below in my description that you can get your own. So we're going to open the hack motion app. We're going to go into drills. We're going to scroll down to the new casting drill, and we're going to start drill, start calibration. So it's dead simple to use. So you're going to get that wrist nice and flat, click in position, raise it up, off we go, and then start drill. So I'm going to pop this down on the ground so I can get some feedback on there. And I'm going to turn the sound up as well a little bit. So we're going to do these practice swings to begin with. So we're going to set at address, go to the top, continue the swing, and you can see there, I've failed, and that's because I would have been releasing that club early. So at address, to the top, not casting, okay? So that was the correct way of doing it. So we're going to go again, and I'm going to show the way a lot of golfers do it. So not casting, but extension in the transition. So that's because I've really dragged the club. Actually, that wrist opens the club face up, and we could see that's how I'd miss. So again, we're going to go there, go to the top, move how I'd need to, not casting. So you'll work your way through lots and lots of these. I'm going to do them very quickly, but I'm going to help you understand the movement we're looking for. So I'm going to show you the movement for these next few and how we can do it. So we're going to go to the top as normal. And then all we're going to do from here is I'm going to move towards the target, but keeping my back to the target. And then I can start down. Now I held on to that one a little too long. So we're going to go to the top. We're going to move towards the target. And that's great. And from there, I can then feel a fire. But the big problem for a lot of golfers is they'll go to the top. And because they want to move first with that club, we can see there, massive angle opened up. So we're not letting the arms start the downswing. We're getting there. We're going towards the target. And again, a little bit of my old fault. One more to the top. You can feel the vibration. We start down and not casting. So then we can see there was a mixture of the results, some green, some red. Now, all we're going to do from there is I'm now going to try and hit some shots. So I'm going to set myself up to the ball, get to the top. I'm going to rehearse this first, continue towards the target. Great. So now I'm going to try and hit the shot. So we see 2.8 inches ahead, club's travelled down 3 degrees and the carry at 173. And a very different delivery. So again, I need that little rehearsal to make sure I'm doing it correctly. So I get to the top, I move my body towards the target, then start to turn. Not quite right, so let's have one more rehearsal. From there, move towards the target. Perfect. Let's go one more. Okay, now focus on that movement for the golf swing. And it's just so much more powerful. And again, 3.3 inches ahead, 3.8 degrees down and 181 carry. But if I then hit that one where I get to the top, and then I'll let the club move early, we can see massively casting in the downswing. And if I were to do that for a shot, even though the low point's been very slightly ahead, we can see that we're curving out to the right and 127 yards. So it's great getting feedback. As a coach, I'm all about feedback. Remember, practice makes permanent. Perfect practice makes permanent. So work on the right things. So we get at address, we go to the top, we move towards the target, then we can turn out the way. I'm going to set up to the golf ball. That's a great strike again, 3.3 inches ahead, 3.8 degrees down and 183 carry. So like I said at the start of the video, that casting movement in the downswing is an absolute killer for distance and accuracy. But it's not just a case of trying to hold that angle as long as possible because that club face is wide open. So what we really need to feel is from that address position, we get to the top, we move towards the target, that gets those arms dropping down. Then as the body starts to turn out the way, we get into that nice, powerful position. And certainly from down the line, when we cast, we see that club gets thrown out in front of us. Then we stand up to hit the shot. With the new movement, you're going to shift towards the target, then start to turn the body. You can see how the club's in that slot. And you're going to deliver the club much more consistently, but more importantly, much more powerfully, hit the ball longer and straighter than ever. And for me as a coach, if we've got some feedback with hack motion, that means that what you're doing is correct. And the better you get at practicing something, the better you get at achieving the results you're after.